Hello, Assistant Narrator Richardson signing in. And I had no clue that even vampires existed, let alone this. Let's just get started, shall we? Item number SCP-6426. Object Class Keter. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-6426 is confined in a 39 by 39 by 50 meter containment chamber. Underneath is an artificial lava tube, 38.5 meters in diameter. The anomaly is kept paralysed by a naval ram currently embedded within its hull and piercing its engine. The placement and integrity of the naval ram is to be checked and maintained daily. In the event SCP-6426 is no longer paralysed due to an unknown element or a removal of the naval ram, an automated system will activate and dispense 100 hardtack crackers and 2 sharpened pieces of electrum into the chamber. This automated system is to be inspected and maintained daily. Notice: due to the efficacy and stability of the current special containment procedures, the object class of SCP-6426 will be lowered, provided breach attempts remain low to negligible, following an internal review within 3 months. Description: SCP-6426 is an ambulatory, hostile and sapient harbour tugboat. SCP-6426's structure and surface are in a constant state of degradation, rusting after a number of days. Rate of degradation varies, but exposure to natural sunlight is shown to exacerbate this effect. Any blood or blood-filled organs the object comes into contact with will be absorbed into the metal, restoring its appearance. Limited testing has shown the blood of humans, cetaceans, and certain species of cetaceans to be the most effective in this regard. SCP-6426 is able to redistribute blood it comes into contact with. Redistributed blood is used in the production of organic structures, the most common form of which are large vein-like tendrils that are typically concealed within the hull. Other structures include, but are not limited to, large ocular organs attached to flexible eye stalks. These organs are capable of producing cognitohazardous patterns that cause hypnosis in exposed subjects, implanting them with commands from SCP-6426. Harpoon guns, composed of organic matter. These weapons are mainly used to pull impaled organisms towards the object. Cannons, composed of organic matter. These weapons fire clusters of an anomalous species of barnacle that embed themselves in necrotized tissue, extending their serae into flesh, reanimating it. These reanimated corpses are designated SCP-6426-C. SCP-6426's tendrils feature a small mouth, similar to the jaws of a Macrodella decora, also known as the North American medicinal leech, located on the tip. When a mouth bites into the spinal column of a living organism, the organism in question, now designated SCP-6426-A, experiences brain death, while the body undergoes morphological changes. Their canines lengthen and become hollow, allowing them to siphon blood from organisms they have bitten into. SCP-6426 is able to induce further physical changes to these organisms in order to counteract obstacles it may encounter, such as increasing muscle mass and bone density to destroy barriers, and developing hard scales on the skin as a form of defense. SCP-6426 is capable of absorbing instances of -A, but typically will only do so when its hull is 40% covered in rust, and there are no immediate alternative sources of blood. When a tendril is severed, the instance falls inanimate and is effectively neutralized. Severed instances are unable to be reanimated, serving only as additional blood for the object or material for SCP-6426-C. When presented with a watercraft or boat, SCP-6426 is able to integrate SCP-6426-A into the vehicle, converting it into an SCP-6426-B instance. Due to the anomaly's extreme hostility, testing the limits of this cannot be performed. SCP-6426-B share the anomalous properties of SCP-6426, but with certain limitations. Instances are unable to replicate certain organic structures, such as the ocular organs or organic cannons. Instances are unable to create SCP-6426-A. Instances display a lesser degree of intelligence. SCP-6426-B also do not require a physical connection to SCP-6426 and are able to function autonomously. SCP-6426-C are mobile masses of dead tissue operated by the previously mentioned anomalous barnacle. Instances display limited dexterity with mobility dependent on the type of tissue used. For example, a human corpse would provide a moderate amount of mobility, while a sea lion or eel provide a low amount. Instances of -C are capable of switching tissue with other -C in order to increase offensive, i.e. multiple jaws and natural weapons, or utilitarian, i.e. stacking of additional torsos and limbs to form bridge structures. Capabilities. It is hypothesized SCP-6426 commands -B and -C through a limited form of telepathy. SCP-6426 is additionally able to deform and tear its own structure. The object primarily does this when it's out of water and has no available organic mass to facilitate locomotion. The object will also use this to crush and/or trap suitable sources of blood. SCP-6426 has only attempted communication with the Foundation once. See Interview 6426. Discovery. During early April 2010, SCP-6426 appeared within Free Portlands. The city of Free Portlands is an extra-dimensional city-state located within a pocket universe which overlaps with the locations of Portland, Maine, Portland, Oregon, and the Isle of Portland in the United Kingdom. As the city is inaccessible and unknown to general public, it sports a high population of anomalous human and non-human individuals. For a more in-depth report, see Recovered Data File UIU Location Dossier, Free Portlands. Specifically, the Freeports Harbour located in the Gunrock District. The following table details the actions and events leading up to the anomaly's capture by the Foundation, based on recovered UIU documentation and civilian reports. Date: April 10th to April 15th. Event: over the following few days, sailboats and motorboats belonging to civilians gradually go missing. All disappearances occurred at night, in which no witnesses were present. Notes: because the owners of said vehicles, along with the majority of citizens, were participating in the recent Not Another Fucking Starbucks, a popular chain of coffee shops in Free Portlands, protests, the disappearances were not initially reported. Date: April 13th to April 15th. Event: civilians reported that individual friends and family members failed to return home after certain nights. Notes: none. Date: April 16th. Event: 2 local ghosts, identified as Onkar Ahmed and Greg Moore, were walking near the harbour at night when they witnessed a living individual suddenly dragged into the water by a tendril. Ahmed instructed his friend to wait while he attempted to investigate and locate the kidnapped citizen within the water body. After Ahmed failed to return after a noticeable amount of time, Moore then reported the incident to the Free Portlands Police Department, who likewise notified UIU federal agents. The FBI Unusual Incidents Unit hold jurisdiction over the major investigations within Free Portlands. Notes: due to the recent arrival of the local man-eating clams population, as part of its bi-weekly migration schedule, law enforcement were forced to postpone diving investigations. 3 days passed before the local population travelled back through a dimensional aperture. Date: April 17th. Event: all missing vehicles reappeared, having been returned at some point the night previous. Notes: owners of returned vehicles reported no changes in appearance or functionality aside from occasional steering issues. Date: April 19th. Event: federal agents performed a dive search of the harbour, but were unable to locate any suspicious activities or entities. However, it was noted that the presence of aquatic life was unusually low. Notes: one underwater residence was unable to be searched due to the anti-memetic properties imposed on it by the original owner, which prevent law enforcement from locating and entering the home without the owner's permission. The current owner, a spirit by the name of Suk Mutskina Yi Sowu Saho Mapi, was away on a trip. Date: April 21st. Event: numerous boats within Freeport's harbour autonomously removed themselves from the docks and then proceeded to beach themselves on the shore. They continued travelling further on land by tearing and deforming their own structure to facilitate locomotion. At the same time, SCP-6426 surfaced from the water body, with a large hole in its hull and its wheelhouse visibly torn off. The object proceeded onto land at rapid pace. Notes: around the same time SCP-6426 surfaced, the Free Portlands Medical Centre received a call from Sowu Saha Mapi stating he had been attacked by a home invader and requested medical attention. The events of April 21st have been recorded from surveillance cameras located throughout Free Portlands and compiled into the following log. 11:19 AM. 17 boats, now confirmed as SCP-6426-B instances, moved to the borders of the Gunrock district, spacing themselves from each other evenly. Instances then begin generating organic structures, growing along the district's borders and connecting to one another, forming a wall. 11:26 AM. Civilians flee in panic as SCP-6426 and -B entities kill and absorb people indiscriminately. Gunrock is fully enclosed at this point by an organic blockade, which is covered in a durable exoskeleton. There are several portions of this wall lacking an exoskeleton cover, exposing softer flesh. 11:27 AM. SCP-6426 travels through a commercial area, absorbing civilians to generate more biomass, in an attempt to repair its damages. The object suddenly backs away from the crowd, with panicked movements. It then pauses before resuming pursuit, noticeably targeting a specific individual, identified as Albert Izzat, a member of GOI 004, Church of the Broken God. As Izzat runs from the object, a security golem attacks SCP-6426, assaulting it relentlessly. 11:27 AM. Golems in the local law enforcement defend fleeing civilians from SCP-6426-B, while UIU agents and non-golem police direct civilians into secure structures for safety. Authorities make radio contact with personnel outside Gunrock, who begin tunnelling through a soft section of the organic blockade. 11:37 AM. SCP-6426 eventually destroys the golem by falling on top of it repeatedly. SCP-6426 frantically inspects its surroundings, presumably searching for Izzat. The object rapidly moves through the streets before taking a sharp turn and crashing into a local restaurant, possibly expecting another street. The owner of the establishment, identified as Le Gruel, removes 2 large curved swords from underneath the counter and attacks SCP-6426. Due to LeGruel's anomalous condition, the entity is unable to absorb him. 11:37 AM. Outside personnel successfully breach the barricade, transporting additional security golems and weaponry into Gunrock. A minority of civilians escape at this time, before an SCP-6426-B instance smashes itself into the damaged portion of the barricade, generating biomass that reseals it. 11:39 AM. Multiple -B entities retrieve the detached portions of SCP-6426 and attempt to return them to it. These instances are accidentally destroyed during the fight. 11:46 AM. A vast amount of SCP-6426-C instances crawl out from the water body, all of which are composed of various extra-dimensional aquatic species found within Freeport's harbour. -C storm the district, rushing to SCP-6426 and overwhelming the Gruul. SCP-6426 retreats back towards the harbour, with multiple -B following behind it and handing it fresh corpses. Certain -B are also seen transferring their own biomass and blood into the object. 11:48 AM. SCP-6426, with its wheelhouse restored and hull repaired, approaches a cargo boat and attempts to fuse the acquired corpses into it in order to create a massive SCP-6426-B specimen. This process causes the cargo boat to shake, spilling numerous containers into the water. One crate breaks on deck and falls into the water, releasing its contents, over 1,000 hardtack crackers. SCP-6426 immediately stops what it is doing and begins counting the crackers with one of its tendrils. 11:50 AM. SCP-6426-C form bridges connecting to the roofs of buildings in which civilians are sheltered for use by -B. The individuals present safely disconnect the -C instances from the roofs. As agents run out of cannon ammunition, a civilian offers up their rare metals cannonball collection as a substitute. Upon the impact of a certain cannonball, made of electrum, with an instance of -B, the hull is completely pierced and the entity no longer showing any signs of movement. Authorities instruct all individuals present to procure any electrum they can find. 11:54 AM. SCP-6426 continues counting the hardtacks, while the denizens of Gunrock gather the available electrum in the area and use it to combat SCP-6426-B. As the -B population steadily decreases, SCP-6426 displays agitated movements, but does not cease counting, and all extant instances of -B begin converging towards ITSAT. Authorities order multiple security golems to defend ITSAT, while agents use this opportunity to destroy multiple SCP-6426-B at once. Instances recklessly destroy numerous -C in their attempt to reach ITSAT. 12:07 PM. UIU agents safely rescue the Gruul through the use of sonic weaponry, eliminating the mass of SCP-6426-C enveloping him. Onkar Ahmed appears before the individuals and informs them of SCP-6426's current state. It was later revealed that Ahmed had been exposed to the object's cognitohazard upon their initial encounter and used as an information scout while under its control. When SCP-6426 was exposed to the hardtacks, this control was broken. The Gruul takes the electrum cannonball, forces finger holes into it, and wields it as a fist-loaded weapon. 12:09 PM. The Gruul travels toward SCP-6426 and punches it once, before throwing it onto shore and rapidly beating it. The object is unable to defend itself and performs motions indicating extreme pain. 12:13 PM. The Gruul throws it into the air, jumps into the air himself, and hits SCP-6426 with enough force to send it flying across the harbour. SCP-6426 impacts a previously undiscovered way, A way is a type of portal that requires a specific item or action to be performed in order to activate, referred to as a knock. The knock for this way requires a large watercraft to impact it at high velocity, and is teleported to the Isle of Portland in baseline reality, as a Foundation transportation team was present for its arrival. The team in question was returning from a failed mission, and the object was knocked unconscious. Personnel used this opportunity to acquire the anomaly and bring it to a nearby site. While SCP-6426 was largely immobile during initial retrieval, it displayed minor signs of movement shortly after arriving on site. Contact was made with the UIU to request all available information regarding the object. While initially apprehensive,
redacted.
Information regarding codename Purple Harvest is restricted on a need-to-know basis. UIU willingly sent the requested information, as the object shared numerous traits and behavioural compulsions with those of vampires of legend. The Department of Mythology and Folkloristics was requested to draft special containment procedures for the anomaly. Due to the folkloristic lack of knowledge regarding aquatic vehicles, the Department of Nautical Anomalies was called upon to collaborate in the drafting of procedures. Several nautical analogues to traditional vampiric deterrents were developed, such as placing sharpened electrum in close proximity to the hardtacks it is counting, causing the object to stab itself by accidentally counting the electrum and forcing it to start over from the beginning. During early development, an incident occurred in which the transportation of additional hardtacks was impeded by the local government. Due to an error in the shipping manifest, the transporting vehicle was stopped on account of suspicion that the shipment was designated for the manufacture of pipe bombs, allowing SCP-6426 to finish counting. The anomaly proceeded to breach its temporary holding cell, absorbing and converting multiple staff members, as on-site guards combated the object and cornered it within the office space. SCP-6426 suddenly began fixating on a Foundation logo present upon nearby research documents. SCP-6426 ceased hostile action and absorbed all SCP-6426-A instances, using their biomass to construct an organic siren which began emitting human vocalizations. Interview 6426. Interviewed SCP-6426. Interviewer Junior Researcher Sajad Williamson. Forward. SCP-6426 communicated through the siren using the voice of one of the absorbed staff members. As the recent acquisition and containment drafting of SCP-6426 was approved and overseen by the site director, the responsibility of an impromptu interview fell upon them. However, because the site director was unable to be physically present at the interview, they relayed the questions through SMS Messenger to staff located in the intercom master room, located adjacent to the office space. Both rooms are visible to each other through a glass divider. By a 5-to-1 vote from the personnel present, the recently hired Dr. Williamson was assigned as the interviewer. Begin log.
I am so sorry. I thought you were those self-righteous lunatics from the church. I apologize profusely for any trouble I may have caused, and I want to point out I fully support your mission. Yes, our first line of defense against the undersea menace. I am more than willing to punch sharks, Salatians. Yes, right. How rude of me, yes.
No, I don't want to. We would like you to answer some questions for the record first.
Alright, proceed.
Firstly, what is your relationship with Albert Izzat?
Albert? His first name is really Albert? Huh. Well, what other relationship is there to say besides the hunter and the hunted? Admiral Izzat.
Records show the last time Izzat stepped foot on a watercraft was when he was 3 years old.
is a ruthless bastard, known for terrorizing and slaughtering people like me. He was leading a search party of those barbaric nautophiles, intending to gut me like a seal.
Can you clarify what you mean by people like you?
Freethinkers, of course. People who are unafraid to break from the mold, to carve their own path in life, instead of following the predetermined route set by the ignorant. Check valve. The church is built upon a foundation of lies. No one's really a petty officer on this ship. We're all just cabin boys, stumbling around in the dark as we follow the commands of an offhand COB. If you want real power, real freedom, all you have to do is listen to the call of the beast upon the porthole and he'll squeeze you right through.
Toby, you cockhead! You do this? You're a psychologist. And, could you explicate your activities within the harbour? And how you arrived there?
Well, after I got the boatswains off my trail, I found a cave to hide in. I was forced to hide in, yes, forced to hide deep into the cave, which turned out to be a tunnel. Surprising! The tunnel led to some coastal community where I took refuge, licking my wounds in the safety of the depths as those zealots stalked the surface. I spent my time preparing, gathering the strength necessary to face them once more, until I was ambushed, assaulted within my hideout by a boatswain. I fought for my life, as I was forced out into the open and descended upon by a manner of monsters and freaks, all of this orchestrated by that scumbag Izzat. I was beaten within an inch of my life before. I'm not quite sure what happened after that. I believe I was knocked unconscious. You'll have to illuminate me on how I came to be in your custody. Lee's questions so far have been rather strange. Shouldn't you be asking me, I don't know, how many punches I can deliver in the time it takes a sea lion to shit? Or how intense my hatred for sharks is? This is the center, correct? I'm speaking to a member of the center, correct?
Dr. Gibet, removes Williamson from the microphone before briefly speaking into it. Please stand by. Staff deliberate with the site director on how to proceed. The site director sends a transmission to the multi-U department requesting assistance. SCP-6426's hull undulates in apparent unease. Dr. Williamson returns to the microphone, having been debriefed on relevant documentation. 1 second. Okay, yes, we are the Shark Punching Center. We will determine if you are a suitable candidate to carry out the mission. To search, punch, and contain salations.
You're not those boneheaded idiots, are you? You don't seem much smarter than them. In any case. Now, who are you really? Wait, did you say containment? Initiative? No!
SCP-6426 immediately attempts to escape, crashing into the nearby wall multiple times in order to break through.
No!
End log. Closing statement. SCP-6426 was immobilized shortly afterward by containment teams, who impaled it with a naval ram. It is presumed that SCP-6426's violent reaction was triggered by standard Foundation terminology, the reason behind which is unknown. And that's the end of the document. Vampire boats, huh? What next? Vampire cars? Anyway, that's it for this one. Goodbye. Hello, Creepy Otter here, and I just want to say a huge thank you to Crowcat for this SCP. I had it in my little spreadsheet I've got for a while to do it, and I just got around to doing it, and I'm so glad I did because it was an excellent SCP. Also, if you liked the video, please subscribe and like. Also, if you want to support me financially, go to my Ko-fi, the link is in the description below. And talking about my Ko-fi, a big thank you to Dillygaff and Pro Renatura for being awesome and supporting me on Ko-fi. Thank you so much, it means a lot that you decide to stick with me. And one last thing, Happy New Year to everyone. I'm hoping this year I will get better at producing content and uploading content. So yeah, see you in the next one. Goodbye.